I rebel against this show. Look, this is a streamlined, Disneyfied version of Daredevil, and it is not even a Daredevil show. This is a Kingpin show. And with this, I tell you, there is no such show as Hawkeye. There is no such show as Echo. Then there is no such show as Daredevil Reborn. These three and an obvious fourth show is one season of one series of Kingpin. For the format, for the very first episode they tried to mimic the original series, 50 plus minutes and so on. Then they just gave up because the writers are shit. They have soap opera writers. They have no idea how to write TV shows or like anything. And the fallback, the runtime falls back to 40 minutes at average. I made notes because otherwise it's not Black Panther level because technically it's not unwatchable, but I crawled my skin off, so I had to speed it up 1.5 times. Then for the last episode I couldn't even bear that and went up to 2 times. For a couple of reasons. Look, for the first, 15 minutes, it starts good. It's obviously copying the original Daredevil season, the season 1. And it's, if you want to compare it to the original show, I recommend you only watch Daredevil season 1 and then watch this, because this is a remake sequel. Characters are the same, the storyline is the same. They even hired a lookalike to Kingpin's assistant from the original season. He died there. To mess with the overall tone and pacing, they instantly kill Froggy. Without him, you don't really have anything interesting left. You need variations. You needed the 5 rivaling gang, you needed Kingpin's love story, you needed Daredevil, you needed Froggy and, these love, friendship, social thing. You needed the action. It was a complex show. It was a good TV show. Streaming, whatever you want. This is streamlined. One thing happens, one thing only. They bring in Bullseye for the first episode's first intro scene, and it's horrible. One is Daredevil starts to kill people, and they bring in even Punisher from season 2, and Bullseye was in season 3 of Daredevil, the original one. And the conflict, the whole point of Punisher there, and I don't know what's within its own show, was that Punisher kills, Daredevil does not. They just ruin the characters, their very existence. Now Bullseye is told over the season that he was told to go in and kill Froggy and maybe no, that was yet another location. Then Bullseye start to wreak havoc, throw smoke grenades everywhere, and kill people randomly. Why? Why the ruckus? He's a professional assassin. That's his whole thing, that he is efficient. So what was that all about? That character assassinates Bullseye. Then Bullseye falls down like 20 meters, like 6 feet or something like that. It's like 3 floors. He dies, but no, he's an immortal zombie now. How about fuck yourself? Oh, and talking about action scenes, Daredevil only appears in one action scene in the middle of the whole thing, and there are no action scenes in the whole thing aside that one with Daredevil and one at the end fight, which leads to a cliffhanger. So that isn't even finished or something. It's just a joke. Then, as said, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. We also again we are back to having 5 crime groups working together. Do we know who are they? No, we have no idea. It's just Mrs. Kingpin doing the thing, and that is one thing. When did Fisk become Kingpin? I don't know. Definitely not in season 1 of the original Daredevil. Definitely not here. That had to be in season 2 or 3 of Daredevil. Because otherwise I have no idea. And we have a lot of timeline problems because, the Daredevil season 1 happens right after the first Avenger movie. The Chidori battle. And this one happens after Civil War sometime, because the Sokovia Accord is still in motion, or whatever the English word is, you understand. But also after Endgame, because there was, after Black Widow, because Hawkeye is clearly after Black Widow. So it seems to be in a limbo to be Phase 4 series and also Phase 3 series. It's hard to follow what was the writing intention. By the way, it also references Miss Marvel as a series that already established Miss Marvel as a superhero. So that was the only good episode. I don't know, episode 3 or 6, something like that. That was the only good episode. It was self-contained, the money was well spent, and all that kind of things. I don't even want to go into that. The bank does not have a good enough security protocol, timer on the safe, and how is it a mechanical treasury, where you have the boxes, and how can the head of the bank not be able to enter there? who was able to enter there. It's bullshit. And as it was all, getting in there was at the risk of his life, why not tell, he knows the code, I don't know the code because I'm too high up on the ranks, I don't do that kind of shit. Although he definitely should because, VIP clients and that, all that. What was I writing here? I don't know, I don't care. There is a lot of 10 seconds pauses where it's just dragging the scenes, and some people, like for the second half of the series, definitely started talking slower. And I remind you, the runtime went from 50 plus minutes to 40, circa 40 minutes. And they started to talk slower. That is very noticeable when you sped up the running speed, because the normal speeds start to wobble a bit, but if you speak slower, then the talking speed becomes just normal speed. Very bad. And there was only one place where they tried to do some interesting camera work. They threw it out instantly. They abandoned it at the next cut. And I will talk about the last episode. That was horrible. But before that, like, there was an interrogation room and a couple of scenes in interrogation rooms, and they are always beating someone. And there they even show that there is a camera constantly running. Just like in the underground, the metro. There is also a camera. Why they never use the camera? Like, if Murdoch goes into this guy because he hears one of the cops beating the suspect or whoever, witness, I don't know, whatever. Ask a camera footage. Instantly release the captured person because that's just police violence. That's a mistake in the procedure, and instantly you are free to go. Or like, get the footage from the metro. Instant release because you don't have to prove anything. I say that somebody else was there. And you should see on the footage that somebody else was on there. Even if they managed to hide from the cameras during the beating and the fighting with White Tiger, the vigilante who gets, just killed off nonchalantly at the end of the episode, you still have the footage that how many people walked out during the fight. And yeah, there was someone. You don't have to prove who it was. It's enough it was there, because that was the defense of the corrupt cops. We talk about the corrupt copings. Oh, and the judge not letting Murdoch present his case by the defendant should get a bond, to get temporary release. That's instant disqualification in the real life for the judge. We want a new judge because they are, not. They are biased. They are not unbiased. So we won the case. Thank you. We go to another district if you have to. By the way, talking about cops, in the real life, I'm yet to find a cop who does anything useful. anything. I saw them not doing anything. I saw them wasting their time. I saw them beating homeless people. I saw them ganging up on someone whose crime was at best playing guitar in public without a license. There was at least half a dozen cops interrogating the person. I mean, intimidating and probably beating. And I saw them being corrupt while not doing a single thing when an obvious crime happened, and they even got the. But it was a petty theft, but still. So I don't know why cops exist. Defund the police. Get rid of them. They do nothing useful. Just like in the Daredevil series, and I bet in the other Netflix series too. On the other hand, if you get superpowers, you instantly become brain damaged. Because if I get like super strength or super speed, you know what I do? With super strength, at bare minimum, I go to a construction worker or work in a storage facility. Because I'm strong. And I can lift 1 ton weight without a heavy machinery. I get to a food runner, you know what I mean. I don't need bicycle or motorcycle or whatever, and I can bring it out. I still can wear the backpack. I won't go vigilante. Because that's stupid. That's endangering my own life. No, I'm not doing that. Because some idiot in Hulk has this from She-Hulk, and here some idiot has the same thing. You have superpower, why don't you do vigilante? Why don't you go vigilante? Because that's stupid! And I can use it a more clever way to make money from it. For fuck's sake. And we are getting close. We are getting close to the end. This is a serious thing. Daredevil's inherent personality part is that he's religious. He goes to church and stuff. The Netflix series handled it very well. He just, that's his thing. It's nothing else. But here, in this show, tithing the church to make the priests able to fuck some children, that's a good thing. Fuck you! No, it's not. You are a church person, you are a bad person. You are a bad person. Especially if you are giving money to the church. And this is a tagline for the show, so to say. Those who wear masks are cowards. Like SWAT members? Cops? What are you talking about, idiots? Who made this show? Seriously, this is an idiotic. And it doesn't even come from Kingpin himself, because Kingpin has this problem with, superheroes, because he's or was a supervillain. We get to that. That's the last episode. And I literally getting twitchy from this topic. Because this is a bad show. Very bad show. Whoever says otherwise is high on nostalgia. They are idiots. watch first season of Daredevil and watch this season. Fuck you. Fuck you, all of you. So, one last thing on Bullseye, because these were my last thoughts during watching the last episode. So, someone caused him. Oh, yeah, sorry, I should have called it. But everyone is referring to Bullseye on his civil name, except one character. And if you did not watch, all the seasons of the Netflix shows, you would and you just watched this show, you would have no idea why they are calling him Bullseye. Because nobody, except that cop or lawyer or whoever journalist, is calling him Bullseye. So that was a very weird thing. And you know what's copying from the original Daredevil? You remember the journalist from Daredevil? We have the same name, journalist. Now here too. It's his niece or whatever, I don't care. It's very lame. It's just an excuse. They are just re-equaling the whole thing. Kingpin does the exact same thing, taking over the city. Also becoming a public persona, and obviously in the next show he will fail with all that, but with a big taking from the latest Halloween movie, evil dies tonight. I guarantee there will be a scene like that in that one. So I don't know how Kingpin managed to become mayor of the city, and I bet you this show don't even care that much how that happened, and you don't know it unless maybe season 2 and 3 has an excuse for that, or the other Netflix shows. But see, after watching Daredevil season 1, this is a very impossible scenario. This is very impossible. But this throw out Kingpin's entire character arc and character and all that, because someone fucked up his Googling skill. And I'm that serious. Because, I believed at some level, if Kingpin gets the chance, he could have become what Doctor Doom was in the comics. The dubious but successful ruler of the city. He has a war country, but who cares? That's nitpicking. And that would have been a very interesting show. That Kingpin is actually in the position he always wanted and actually making New York great again. I mean, for real. But no, this show transformed him to Trump. Literally. The same kind of insane right-wing, authoritarian, fascist propaganda machine that Trump is. With his own private eyes, with some Punisher follower, worshipper cult amongst the police and that kind of shit. Punisher don't like them and considers them clones, and they are just, corrupt cops in there, and they don't make the city better. And Kingpin makes his blacklist and fills up the rank with loyalists and does all. He just does stuff in his own pocket and creates chaos, and that's the most important thing. That betrays the whole writer team, the whole of the writer room. He is making chaos. He is creating chaos. He does not build anything, no matter what he says. And that's another king of crime. That's not Kingpin. Kingpin sometimes pummeled people to death in the comic books, but he was organized, he was calm for the majority, and he led an organization. He was really prideful that he does not drown the city in chaos. You know who did drown cities in chaos? You guessed it right. The Joker. Kingpin should not be the Joker. DC should sue Marvel for this series, which is a betrayal of everything Marvel, everything Disney, everything people liked. Of Daredevil, of Kingpin, of the Netflix shows, of maybe the MCU shows. This is unacceptable. Especially the cherry on top for the last episode. The cinematography. I don't know what happened. If that was an entirely other crew, or they somehow lost their equipment, or Marvel is so idiot that because somebody spent the budget they only rented out cheaper cameras for their own creators. But the last episode is straight to DVD film quality. Steven Seagal movies, and I mean the straight to DVD Steven Seagal movies, have that kind of cinematography. It's absolutely unacceptable. This show seriously pissed me off. And no, Daredevil has nothing. We need an army. What army? You have a 60-year-old cop. Some lawyer? That's bullshit. And some journalist kid? I don't know how old that girl is. I told 16, but okay, call me bad eyesight. And she's maybe 20-something, early 20-something. But if we are talking Daredevil, where is his army? Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Steel Cage or Cage Steel or whatever that guy was. Where are the others? Because this is bullshit. This is self-destruction.